defended this decision, saying that he's publishing this book now in September. It's not like he's waiting until after the election.
And that book is published by Simon & Schuster, a division of Viacom CBS. Senate Democrats have blocked a coronavirus relief bill, saying it falls well short of the $3 trillion package that the House approved back in May. Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Chuck Schumer and I called it, it's not only a skinny bill, it's emaciated. It doesn't help state and local workers at all.
A new study led by a Yale researcher provides more evidence that coronavirus may attack the brain. CBS's Dr. David Agus.
The virus itself may enter the brain cells, causing symptoms like confusion and delirium in patients.
From Southern California to the Canadian border, this is a familiar sound. First responders going into neighborhoods to announce evacuation orders. KNX reporter John Baird is near Los Angeles.
People living near the Bobcat fire northeast of Los Angeles saw a huge brown plume of smoke billowing skyward and ashes floating down.
Oh, yeah. All over the place, in the pool, on the deck, all over the cars.
Authorities warned that anyone who smelled smoke or noticed ashes should limit their time outdoors and stay inside with the doors and windows closed.
In an Idaho courtroom.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mrs. Daybell, she enters a not guilty plea to both charges and the request for a pretrial and a jury trial.
That not guilty plea on behalf of Lori Velo Daybell. Her 2 children disappeared. Their bodies found buried on her new husband's property back in June. The kids were last seen alive about a year ago. She's charged with 2 related felonies. On Wall Street, the Dow closed down 405 points. This is CBS News.
Eno, the Capital One assistant that looks out for surprise credit card charges and helps if you need to fix them. Capital One, what's in your wallet? See CapitalOne.com for details.
At CDW, we get that an unsecured laptop can put your company's data at risk, making you a little paranoid.
I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid.
CDW can implement a secure mobility solution using the HP EliteBook with Intel 8th generation processors and SureView privacy to protect your screen from prying eyes.
Did you follow me here?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/HP security.
What was that?
You may meet in an office or on a video chat. Your commute might now be measured in feet, not miles. How you do business may have changed, but Staples will always have everything you need to get it done. And this week, get 40% back in Staples Rewards on all paper and 40% back in rewards when you spend $75 on ink or $175 on toner. Shop in-store or pick up curbside and save big this week at Staples. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply. For details, visit staples.com/40 in rewards. Curbside available in most stores.
Jim Gray from Westwood One with an NFL Kickoff 2020 preview. From Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl champion Chiefs will play host to Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. It's a rematch of their wild playoff game last January that resulted in the Chiefs' biggest comeback win ever. Don't miss any of the action and hear the NFL all season from Westwood One.
6:30 pregame show on the Mighty 790 KFGO. The Drive with Dan Michaels on 94.1 FM and the Triple Towers of Power, the Mighty 790 KFGO.
Want some whiskey in your water, sugar in your tea? What's all this crazy question they're asking me? This is the craziest party that could ever be. Don't turn on the lights, cause I don't want to see. Mama told me not to come. Mama told me not to come. That ain't the way that I found out.
The Mighty 790 KFGO. I hope you don't feel like that by the time the show's done. But Mama did tell you not to come. Good afternoon and welcome to The Drive on the Mighty 790 KFGO. It is so good to have you with us here this afternoon. Reason for the tune? Danny Hutton, who I think was singing that song. He's one of the vocalists for Three Dog Night. He's 78 years old today. Happy birthday to Danny Hutton today. And thank you for joining us up on The Drive this afternoon. We got a lot going on. Matt Larsen, the athletic director at North Dakota State University, is going to join us in just a couple of minutes. We're going to talk about the October 3rd matchup with Central Arkansas. Are you concerned about the 10,000 fans that are going to try to get in the game? How are ticket sales going for that contest? Is this a potential model for moving forward into the spring if all goes well at this football game on October 3rd. There's all sorts of other things going on with North Dakota State University as well. There's been a loss up there. One of their great basketball stars died suddenly at the age of 29 a couple of days ago. I mean, my goodness, what's going on there? Plus, there's several Bison in the news. There's 5 Bison that have been honored with preseason honors. There's a number of former Bison that are playing football in the National Football League or on practice squads with NFL teams. NFL opener is tonight on KFGO. Going to be a big one. Texans and the world champion Chiefs square off this evening. So lots going on. We'll talk football and athletics in general with Matt Larsen in a few minutes. We're going to talk Greater Moorhead Days with Riverkeeper's Christine Holland in the second half hour of our show. That and lots more coming up on the program today. First things first, though, let's go across the hall to the KFGO News Center and News Director Paul Jurgens.
Sunny in Fargo-Moorhead at 67 degrees. A debate between the two candidates for Minnesota's 7th District congressional seat.
Minnesota's current longest-tenured Congressman Colin Peterson faces a challenge from former Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Michelle Fischbach.
Well, I will continue to work for the people in the 7th District. I will represent this district right down the middle, the way it should be. I'm not going to be a partisan. I'm not going to get into all that stuff.
Education needs to be top of the line and nearby, and we need to make sure that health care is available to rural Minnesotans, and that's so important with the critical access hospitals. And all of that is part of making sure that rural Minnesota is strong and we can move into the future.
President Trump won Minnesota's 7th district by a hefty margin in 2016, which is why Republicans like their chances this time.
KFGO News correspondent Laura Oakes. A new poll shows Joe Biden leading President Trump in Minnesota. 49% of voters support Biden and 40% back Trump in the latest Survey USA poll. The former vice president has a 55 to 34% lead in the Twin Cities and a 48 to 44% advantage in southern Minnesota. But President Trump is favored 61 to 37 in the Northeast and has a 19-point lead in western Minnesota. North Dakota is reporting 337 new positive coronavirus cases and 3 more deaths. The number of new positive cases included 64 in Cass County, 62 in Burleigh County, 34 in Morton County, 67 in Stark County, the Dickinson area, and 1 in Grand Forks County. The number of deaths is 160. The federal government has cited Smithfield Foods for failing to protect employees from exposure to coronavirus at the company's Sioux Falls plant, an early hotspot for virus infections. 4 plant workers died from the virus during the spring, and at least 1,294 workers got sick, according to the citation from OSHA. Smithfield Foods, which is based in Virginia, says it plans to contest the citation and the $13,500 fine. The family of George Floyd is considering action against Hennepin County Medical Center for possible multiple breaches of his confidential information. A family lawyer said they were recently informed of breaches of Floyd's data and that the employees no longer work at the hospital. Near 71 for our high this afternoon. Will remain sunny and a clear sky, 46 overnight. Tomorrow mostly sunny with clouds moving in by afternoon, maybe an afternoon shower, 68. Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, morning shower chances, 68. The afternoon high on Saturday. Sunday, mostly sunny and 70. Fargo-Moorhead, sunny, 66. Paul Jurgens, News Radio, KFGO.
The Mighty 790 KFGO, good afternoon, and welcome back to The Drive. KFGO time is 4:10. North Dakota State University will hit the gridiron on October 3rd, the only fall football game because of the pandemic, hosting Central Arkansas on that Saturday. And joining us this afternoon to talk about all things in the athletic department at North Dakota State University is NDSU Athletic Director Matt Larsen. Good afternoon, Matt.
Hey, Dan, thanks so much. It's great to hear your voice. I'm so used to come fall of hearing your voice kind of ring through the PA system, so it's good to spend some time with you this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's our pleasure to have you with us today. I know how very busy you are. I wish I was up there. I wish I was going to be up there on Saturday announcing a Bison game, I'll tell you what. But we're happy to get what we've got. North Dakota State's home football game scheduled for October 3rd against Central Arkansas is going to be at the Fargo Dome, and there's a few rules, there's a few things that have changed, and I wanted to talk to you about that and about a number of other issues going on with the athletic department. So, Matt, let's jump in. the Bison and Central Arkansas on Saturday, October 3rd at the Fargo Dome. First things first, you guys sat down with the city of Fargo, the Dome, Fargo Cass Public Health, and all your team at NDSU, and you determined 10,000 was a number that you were going to be able to work with. Why'd you settle on 10,000 fans?
Well, I think a lot of it I think it goes to, I think, the very beginning conversation that we had as a group of, I think collectively all on the same page of we need to do what's going to be safe and healthy for whatever that number ends up being. And so I think we started with a plan of what are some of the things that we can put in place that are going to ensure that safety, and kind of almost work backwards. So we didn't start with a number first. We said, hey, what are some of the protocols that we can put in place? And then from that, say, okay, what's the number that we feel comfortable with? And so I feel really good about our process. I feel really good about, I think, some of the safety protocols that will be in place. And we're going to require the fans to wear masks. We're going to require them to make sure they're physical distancing. And but ultimately thought 10,000 was a number, given the size and the scope of the Fargo Dome, that was a manageable number. And like I said, I feel really good that we'll be able to host the game and make sure that all folks in there are going to be safe.
Matt, do you think that the rest of the country's kind of watching you on how you do your protocols regarding how you keep people safe going into this game?
I think a little bit, because I know we've been doing that. We've, there's been some other games that we've seen that have had fans, and so you read about some of the things that they've put in place. And today, nowadays, it's a great opportunity to steal what other folks are doing, and again, with the goal of we want to do what's as safe as possible for everybody, from our student athletes to our fans to our coaches. And but no, absolutely, eyes will be on NDSU as they always are, and so we're committed to making sure that we put our best foot forward and do it in a great way.
Well, I can't wait for the ball game. Now, email notifications regarding the status of your ticket request is going on tomorrow. You had people get a hold of you, and you kind of have a little lottery system going. Maybe you can explain that. You're going to let people know tomorrow whether they got a seat at the game, correct?
Well, we've actually, and a lot of our fans will receive notifications today. We've actually adjusted that notification date. It'll be next Tuesday.
Okay.
But basically, every season ticket holder had an opportunity to just let us know one way or the other whether you wanted to claim your ticket, and if you did, do you want the full allotment? Do you want an abbreviated number? Or if you weren't going to use your tickets. And so that process went really, really well. And we had a great response on both accounts. And I think as expected, we had some fans who feel very comfortable coming to the Dome, and some folks who said, I'm going to sit this one out and look forward to the spring, and certainly respect both sides of that. So, but great response. And so we'll be able to get out word to those folks next week. But feel really good that most of the folks that submitted will have an opportunity to get tickets to the game.
Okay, so masks and physical distancing are going to be required inside the Fargo Dome. On the concourse, you are going to have concessions open, right?
We'll have concessions, and the Dome has done an unbelievable job of making sure that it's going to be safe, and for not just the patrons, but also for their staff members. Their staff members will have gloves and face masks. There'll also be plexiglass shielding in front of all of the concession areas, and then also the mobile carts as well. And again, just taking every precaution that we can to make sure that folks are safe, and knowing that people will be in the building for 3 to 3.5 hours. Having those concession opportunities was important, but we also want to make sure that we did it in a way that people feel safe about it too. So feel really good about that. But yeah, as people are moving around, masks will be required as well. And so not just when you're coming in or not just when you're in your seats, but as you make your way to the restroom, as you make your way to the concession stand or through the concourse, we ask you that you have your mask on.
Matt Larsen, the athletic director at North Dakota State University, is joining us today. We're talking about the October 3rd game against Central Arkansas and other things going on with the NDSU athletic department. Matt, thanks again so much for joining us. You are wrapping. People are going to want to get to this ball game. I hope that you're going to be able to attend the game because, Matt, you're putting a number of things. You're wrapping a number of things that would be held in separate games all in one game, including you're raising the banner for the national championship. You're recognizing seniors. So this is going to be a very poignant football game.
It is. It's a busy day. And, we've been fortunate and probably a little spoiled at NDSU that, 8 of the last 9 years, we've been able to raise a national championship banner and something that we don't take for granted, don't take lightly, and are excited to be able to honor the team from last year. But more so being able to honor the seniors. We have 17 seniors in the program who gave a lot to this program. and are faced with are a little bit of a crossroad, in terms of their future. Do you come back in the spring? A lot of them are scheduled to graduate in December. Some have jobs lined up, some have grad school lined up, and so they have a really tough decision. So we felt it appropriate, even though we're going to play 8 games in the spring and playoffs, to make sure that we honored that group. And so I'm really excited to be able to honor the seniors who've done so much for the program. So yeah, it's going to be a jam-packed day, and I think for the fans in person, we'll get the full effect of it. But certainly the folks that are watching from home too will also be able to take part in that and help us celebrate the championship, but also celebrate our seniors.
Do you know how many guys are going to come back in the spring, Matt?
We don't, and I think we're still trying to evaluate that. The one piece that I think really did help for a lot of our players was just knowing the fact that they don't lose a year of eligibility this year. And I think that's going to impact not just our seniors, but some of our other student athletes. It impact their decision. But I know Coach Entz has had multiple conversations with our seniors, and ultimately we want them to do what's best for them. And if that means stay at NDSU and play in the spring, great. If that means they need to move on and move on with their professional careers, then that's okay too. And so we'll probably have some greater direction here in the next probably couple of weeks to see where their final decisions lie.
Boy, what a sad state of affairs, Matt, where these guys are kind of robbed of their last season, and you just went through a great explanation of, life goes on. We've got jobs, we've got careers, we've got other things going on, and some of that stuff just can't wait. But what a tragedy to be playing for North Dakota State University, and another opportunity perhaps to win a national championship in 2020, 2021, and no football, and not be able to play your full schedule. I imagine there's been some poignant moments up at the university talking to some of those athletes.
There really have been, and it's fun for us as administrators and coaches. We see them come in as freshmen, and just to see them grow and mature, and gain all sorts of experiences, and over their course of their 4 or 5 years here, and the impact that they have on the program, the impact that they have in the community. But ultimately they're here to get an education, and that's what they've done such an unbelievable job. And so to be faced with that really tough decision of, do I graduate and move on to my professional career and or go to grad school, depending on what my next chapter is, or do I stay and play? And those are really hard decisions. You only get one chance to do this, and so I know a lot of thought and energy and time has gone into all their decisions, and that's why I said wherever they end up, we're going to respect 100% what they decide, because we know that they put a lot of thought into it, and certainly want the best for them.
People who want to be close to the program should note the Bison Nation lunch schedule is out on the GoBison.com website, and your first Bison Nation lunch is actually coming up tomorrow, Matt.
It is, and this is one of the things that I know from my first year here, is something that I've always thought is really special about NDSU athletics, and just goes to show the level of support that we get from the community and our fan base and our donors. And so yeah, we're going to have our first one tomorrow. Now it'll look a little different than what people are probably typically used to. And usually we'll have a buffet lunch, and we'll do boxed lunches, and we'll have some physical and social distancing within the facility. But it's an opportunity to hear from our coaches, updates on the programs. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions from fans in terms of how the last couple of months have been, what the next couple of months are going to look like, some of the things that we're looking forward to in the spring, and then one of my favorite things that we do once a month at these is we also have our student athletes of the month, where our student athletes are there in person, and we get to brag about them a little bit, and then I interview them on the stage, and no better representation of who we are and what we're about than our student athletes, and so it's a neat day to kind of to show them off to our supporters. And so yeah, tomorrow's our first day, and I'd love to have you come out. It starts at 11:30 at the Delta Marriott, and it'll be a fun event.
You don't have to be a team maker to come out, so come on out for lunch tomorrow. Cordell Volson, Dylan Radens, Trey Lance, Jackson Hankey, and Michael Tutsi have all been named preseason All-Americas, and with the National Football League kicking off tonight on KFGO, Matt, 11 former Bison make NFL rosters and practice squads. That's going to make everybody so proud.
It does. I mean, it just goes to show the level of talent and that we have in our program. You started off talking about those preseason guys, and there's a lot of really high level football around the country, and so to have that many who are recognized by a lot of writers and other folks who really pay a lot of attention to college football, I think says a lot about our program, but certainly them as individual athletes. And then to have 11 former players, make NFL rosters, be it that's the 53 roster or 53-man roster or the practice squad. Again, I think it goes to the tradition and history of our program, the type of players that we develop, the things that they learn here at NDSU that prepares them for the next level. And, that makes you really proud. I know there's a lot of pride in our town here of the guys that are able to go on to the next level and be successful. But, the one thing that always stuck out with me, and I think it was Marcus Williams who said this, he said it to Coach Kleiman when he was here, and this was probably his first or second year in the league, and he said, Coach, you know what, I'm going to do just fine because these guys don't know how to practice. He's like, they don't practice like the Bison do. And so I think a lot of what we're able to do here and the things that our guys learn really prepare them to be successful at that next level. So really proud of all those guys and looking forward to watching them compete this year.
And really proud of the job you do too, Matt. Matt Larsen, the athletic director at North Dakota State University. Matt, you've done a terrific job since you've been here and now fighting your way through this pandemic. It all makes us real proud of the Bison and athletic department at North Dakota State University. You represent Fargo in our region so very, very well. Thank you so much for joining us today, Matt. And I'll see you, if not before, I'll see you on October 3rd.
That sounds great, Dan. I look forward to seeing you again, and I look forward to seeing the fans, not just tomorrow, but as we get closer to October 3rd, and really looking forward to celebrating with them another game. So appreciate your time, Dan. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Matt. Have a great evening. Matt Larsen, the athletic director at North Dakota State University. KFGO time is 4:23. You're listening to The Drive on the mighty 790 KFGO.
It Takes Two with Amy and JJ. Weekdays at 11 a.m. on the mighty 790 KFGO.
Big Iron. The region's largest ag show is September 15th through the 17th at the Red River Valley Fairground in West Fargo. Kick the tires on the latest and greatest products and technology in the industry. Big Iron is committed to your safety. Visit our website for details on safety measures in place. It's Big Iron, September 15th through the 17th at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. Details at BigIronFarmShow.com.
Cooking with Proceed. Get a Blackstone griddle if you buy 2 different classes of corn, soybeans, sunflowers, or canola. Put some sizzle on the griddle and some yields in your fields with Proceed's Right Choice program. Enjoy some flavor explosion along with your yield explosion. Cook up a yield recipe. Great seed at a reasonable price. If you need seed, think Proceed. www.proceed.net.
It's raining diamonds at a Cutting Edge Jewelry. Folks, the month of September, we are going to have the biggest diamond sale the Red River Valley has ever seen. Every shape of diamond we have in stock. We have marked down hundreds of diamonds. What this means for you, you're going to get twice the diamond for your budget as you ever have before. A Cutting Edge, 4507 33rd Avenue South, right here in Fargo.
Ever get the feeling you are walking uphill inside your home? That your walls are closing in on you? Your doors and windows are stuck or won't close? You just might have foundation issues. Contact the experts at Safe Basements of Minnesota and put those fears to rest. Visit safebasements.com and begin putting 30 years of excellence to work for you. Safebasements.com, the trusted experts.
I'm Jesse Treble, and peace of mind is a safe basement.
Get more than just a great deal. Get the Luther Advantage. Every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 60-day, 2,500-mile warranty. Every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 5-day, 500-mile return policy. Use your Luther Advantage card and save on gas. Or even a car wash at any Holiday Station store. Get the Luther Advantage at Luther Family Buick GMC, corner of I-29 and 32nd Avenue South in Fargo.
Catch the Devil's Lake Check-In and Outdoors Report on News and Views. Brought to you by Devil's Lake Tourism. Devil's Lake, the largest natural body of water in North Dakota and a top 5 fishing destination in the U.S. Catch it all in Devil's Lake with endless adventures.
Dynamic Homes is celebrating 50 years of building dreams. They specialize in high-quality custom-built homes. Dynamic Homes builds premier modular homes and has the ability to build custom homes. Their advanced engineering techniques produce a stronger home with less air infiltration, greater energy efficiency, and reduced heating costs, saving you money. Check out their styles, search plans, and their gallery to start planning your dream home today at dynamichomes.com. Dynamic Homes in Detroit Lakes.
Rally Day is coming to Atonement Fargo on Sunday, September 20th. Don't miss this fun day of outdoor worship and activities. We'll have food trucks, a bubble dance party for the kids, and it all kicks off with a traditional worship service at 9 a.m., followed by a modern service at 10:30. Join us in person for Rally Sunday on September 20th at Atonement Fargo at 4601 South University Drive, or online at atonementfargo.org. Atonement Fargo, celebrating 50 years of loving God and loving people.
Harvest season is a busy time on farms, but don't overlook safety in the rush. Unfortunately, a number of farm workers find themselves in unsafe situations each year when farm machines make contact with overhead power lines. Take note of electrical lines when moving equipment like portable grain augers and large combines. Inform everyone who works on the farm of the location of power lines and keep farm equipment at least 10 feet away. A harvest safety reminder from your friends at Wild Rice Electric. They care about you and your safety.
The Farmer's Forecast with Sam Halstengard, 94.1 FM and on the AM dial, the mighty 790 KFGO.
With COVID-19, we are enjoying more meals at home with the family. National Pork Board Director of Nutrition and Dietetics, Kara Belke, says there are many benefits to this new trend.
Experts continue to agree the benefits of increased family meals are definitely significant. And we see from the research that eating more meals together as a family, it improves things like family cohesion, communication, improves relationships. And, one of the other things that people might not know about, it helps us prepare for uncertainty in managing difficult life moments and just coming together to celebrate simple joys, which, during these times never before have we needed more nurturing for, our minds, our bodies, as well as our souls. So there's definitely many benefits.
The Pork Checkoff is collaborating with U.S. Pulses during this National Family Meals Month. The marketing initiative promotes the pairing of whole foods to bring tastes, balances, and nutrition to the center of the plate.
This partnership was developed to reach consumers that we might not typically talk to and might not be thinking about pork. So we're leveraging a large network of powerful health and nutrition communicators that are promoting the positive nutritional profile of pork. So the goal of efforts like this and others to come is to begin to change consumer perceptions of pork and hopefully add pork to their decision set as they are making their weekly shopping list and shopping in store.
You can find more information and tasty recipes at powerfulpairings.com. With your Farmer's Forecast, I'm Farm and Ranch reporter Sam Halstengard.
The Drive with Dan Michaels on 94.1 FM and the Triple Towers of Power, the mighty 790 KFGO.
429 at the mighty 790 KFGO. Polly Lyons, our producer, has already podcast our conversation with NDSU Athletic Director Matt Larsen. KFGO.com, then click on podcast in the upper right corner and bam, take you right to all the interviews we've had on the drive. We're also live on Facebook, too. Polly, how's that work? How do you find that?
Well, you go to KFGO's Facebook page, look for KFGO on Facebook.
Okay.
And you scroll down a little bit, and you'll see some ugly mug, and that would be Dan Michaels' video right there. And, I'm used to being behind the scenes all the time, so I'm behind the camera because I have a face for radio. So,
well,
there you go.
Me too. Are you on this camera?
We are just on right now, yes.
Is it just on me? Or
it's just on you.
Oh, see, that's not fair.
Because it's all about you, Dan. It always has been.
I like that. You need to tell me that more often.
No.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's how you work. It works, though. So if you'd like to watch the show, too, you can just go to Facebook, the KFGO Facebook page, and scroll down. We're right there.
Exactly.
Don't be shocked, though. I mean, it's radio.
Have your barf bag ready.
With that, let's go across the hall to the KFGO News Center and KFGO's news director, Mr. Paul Jerky.
It's sunny, 66 degrees. Former Lieutenant Governor Michelle Fischbach and Congressman Colin Peterson agreed on one thing in a debate today. The COVID-19 restrictions imposed by Governor Walz are too restrictive.
It has been a huge disadvantage to have everything shut down, especially on those border areas in the district where in North and South Dakota things were open and our businesses were shut down.
I've told the governor, give us a different set of rules out here in rural Minnesota where we don't have the same density, we don't have the same problems they have in the Twin Cities.
The debate was co-sponsored by the Minnesota Corn Growers Association. Peterson is Minnesota's longest-serving representative, first elected in 1990. As president of the state Senate, Fishbach was appointed lieutenant governor for about a year under Democratic Governor Mark Dayton when his previous lieutenant governor resigned. A new poll from Survey USA shows Joe Biden leading President Trump in Minnesota. 49% of voters support Biden, 40% back Trump. The former vice president has a 55 to 34% lead in the Twin Cities and a 48 to 44% advantage in southern Minnesota. But President Trump is favored 61 to 37 in northeastern Minnesota and has a 19-point lead in western Minnesota. 66 sunny. This is KFGO News.
KFGO News is sponsored by Tarp Pro. Roll with the Pro. Tarp Pro in Tower City.
Tarp Pro offers a complete line of best quality roll tarps for grain trucks, ag hoppers, construction trailers, grain carts, and more. Upgrade your manual roll tarp with Tarp Pro Sherco 4500 one-touch electric kits and electric hopper door openers. And they offer on-site installation. They also make the high riser hopper extension to fit more grain in your trailer and the Duradex sled decks, which make it a breeze. Call your snowmobiles and quads. Call Tarp Pro today, 701-749-2200, or stop in Tower City. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and tarpproinc.com. Roll with the Pro. Tarp Pro.
66. This is KFGO News. The federal government has cited Smithfield Foods for failing to protect employees from exposure to coronavirus at the company's Sioux Falls plant, an early hotspot for virus infections. 4 plant workers died from the virus during the spring, and at least 1,294 workers got sick, according to the citation from OSHA. Smithfield Foods, based in Virginia, says it plans to contest the citation and the $13,500 fine. North Dakota is reporting 337 new coronavirus cases, positive cases, and 3 more deaths. The number of new positive cases includes 64 in Cass County and 1 in Grand Forks County. The number of deaths is 160. The latest victims were 2 men in their 80s from Burleigh County and a woman in her 90s from Dunn County. 15 more Minnesotans have died of coronavirus complications. That brings Minnesota's COVID-19 death total to 1,884. 389 new positive tests were confirmed, increasing the state's total to more than 82,000. More than 75,000 patients have recovered or no longer need isolation. Around 1.6 million tests have been done in Minnesota. An attorney for one of 4 former Minneapolis police officers charged in the death of George Floyd is highlighting Floyd's past crimes and history of drug use. Another argues that Floyd likely died from fentanyl he took rather than a police officer's knee on his neck. Some court filings are taking a blame the victim approach that experts say is a common defense strategy. The case against the officers is heading to court with arguments over whether the officers should be tried together and whether a trial should be moved out of Minneapolis. The Minnesota State High School League is sending notices to school leaders around the state outlining fee increases as much as 300% in order to make up for losses caused by the virus. The league is shifting the financial burden almost exclusively onto its member schools, many of which have their own budget challenges. Schools will pay a new COVID installment membership fee that varies by enrollment, with the biggest schools paying $11,000 for the school year and the smallest schools paying $1,000. Meteorologist Tom Szymanski, KFGO weather, is expecting a clear night and our overnight low about 46, Fargo-Moorhead. We'll start out mostly sunny in the morning and then increasing cloudiness tomorrow with a chance of late afternoon showers, 68. 68 once again Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, maybe a morning shower. 70, mostly sunny Sunday. And Monday, sunny and 78. Fargo-Moorhead, it's sunny and 66. Paul Juergens, News Radio, KFGO.
There's the pitch. Roger Maris, and it's out of here.
Holy cow.
Roger Maris breaks the record, his 61st home run. It was on this date the great Roger Maris was born. Raj would have had a birthday today.
Aww.
He is buried just north of town. I stop by there infrequently. Probably been there 5-6 times in my life. You ever done that?
No.
Catholic cemetery. Just,
yes, I have.
Just on the north side.
Yes.
It's so cool when you drive in there because people leave baseballs and little figurines and little treats and stuff for Roger at his gravesite. Roger Maris would have been 86 years old today, and as far as I'm concerned, he still holds the Major League Baseball single-season home run record.
Yes.
There should be an asterisk by Barry Bonds' name.
There you go.
Or whoever holds it now. I think it's 73. Is that right?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever met Raj?
I never got to meet him.
I got to meet him once.
Oh, that must have been
It was at the American Legion World Series at Jack Williams Stadium back, I believe, in 1982.
How about that?
Yeah.
Did he give you an autograph?
I got an autograph on a program and on one of those baseball bats.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'd cherish that.
Absolutely.
If I were you. How about that? The great Roger Maris would have had a birthday today. The M&M Boys, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris. Ah, gosh. Great Roger Maris would have had a birthday today. I sure wish he was around. And one other note today, Mrs. Peel died as well. Diana Rigg has passed away at the age of 82. She was Mrs. Peel on The Avengers when I was a little boy.
Oh.
People may know her by other roles that she had, but for me, she'll always be Mrs. Peel. She was Mrs. James Bond. Did you know that?
I was not aware of that.
Mr. Bond actually got married in Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Okay.
And she was Mrs. Bond. She gets killed
in
that, which is one of the things that frames the way James Bond's character looks at the world. Is he once had a wife and got her taken away. Anyway, the great Diana Rigg was 82 years old. Diana Rigg, Mrs. Peel, has passed away today. Coming up in just a couple of moments, Christine Holland is going to join us. She's with Riverkeepers. They are part of Greater Moorhead Days, which starts today. Happy days in Moorhead. For the next several days, there's all sorts of things. We'll run through the Greater Moorhead Day schedule. We'll talk about what Christine Holland and Riverkeepers is part of. There's a big paddle thing that's going to leave from right at the Umkomst. You can get on the river next Wednesday. The weather's supposed to be pretty good, at least long-range forecast in this next Wednesday is looking pretty good. So we'll talk about Greater Moorhead Days and Riverkeepers after this update from CBS News. You're listening to The Drive on the Mighty 790 KFGO.
CBS News brief a day after it was revealed that the president knew he was downplaying the dangers of the pandemic back in February. Mr. Trump claims he just wanted to avoid panic.
Outwardly, I said it's a very serious problem. And it's always a serious problem. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump up and down in the air and start saying people are going to die, people are going to die. No.
When the flames come at you, you get out as fast as you can. A fast-approaching wildfire sent Beth Hill out of her home at a Washington State Senior Center.
The center is burned with all of our things. Everything I own is there. Not only me, but everybody else.
The Labor Department says last week's unemployment claims were about the same as the week before. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has the numbers.
Another 884,000 Americans claimed unemployment benefits in the week ending September 5th, the exact same amount from the week prior, which was revised higher.
CBS News Brief, I'm Peter King.
Tired of not finding the vehicle you're looking for? Corwin Automotive has the largest selection of vehicles in the tri-state area with over 2,000 available for immediate delivery. All makes, all models, all price ranges, cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. New certified pre-owned and used vehicles. Save thousands with the lowest prices around and financing as low as 0%. Make car shopping easy and find exactly what you're looking for. Shop Corwin Automotive. Shop online, corwinauto.com.
Each January, the community donates to Sanford Children's Hospital during the Cares for Kids Radiothon. Now you can support the kids all year long with Miracle Mondays, sponsored in part by JDP Electric. Each Monday, you can help by supporting participating sponsors who dedicate a portion of their sales to help save lives of children in our community.
Thank you.
Find out where at kfgo.com/miracle or text KIDS to 35270. Miracle Mondays made possible by JDP Electric, providing professional electrical services for residential, commercial, and industrial.
Tired of paying rent? Now is a great time to move into a home of your own. Take advantage of today's attractive rates. Some of the lowest rates the industry has seen in years. Talk with the pros at Blackridge Mortgage about a home loan that works best for you. Call Mike Maholka, Brenda Holman, or Sarah Parkhouse at 701-356-8300 or visit blackridgemortgage.com.
Hi, I'm Carson Wentz. Everyday life deserves an exceptional team. Go with a pro. Blackridge Mortgage.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
Wearing a mask. It's not just about protecting yourself. It's about protecting the ones around you, your loved ones, your neighbors, your community. Yes, it can be a little uncomfortable. And yes, it's a look we're not used to. But these are minor inconveniences that will have a major impact on overcoming COVID for the good of us all. So stay safe and mask up, Minnesota. Not just for you, for everyone around you. Brought to you by the state of Minnesota.
The Drive with Dan Michaels on 94.1 FM and the Triple Towers of Power, the Mighty 790 KFGO.
Welcome back to The Drive, KFGO time 441. We're going to be talking with Christine Holland from Riverkeepers, part of Greater Moorhead Days. They've got a paddle adventure going on Wednesday. We'll talk about that in a moment, but we started talking a little bit about Roger Maris. He would have been 86 years old today. The great Roger Maris, the single-season home run king in Major League Baseball, at least in pretty much everybody who lives around here's eyes and ears and everything else. That prompted Mike to give us a call this afternoon. He wanted to talk a little bit about the Roger Maris Golf Tournament. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I got a quick story about the very first Roger Maris Golf Tournament.
Was that 85, 84?
Yeah, it would have been the 84, 85 year. Yeah. Okay. And Roger was on an Oxbow, and he was very adamant about the Shanley football players being able to caddy for all the celebrities.
The Shanley football team caddied for the players. That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So, in other words, they basically just drove the carts. But anyway, I was lucky enough to get Moose Scourin, and on the those guys are legendary for having, doing all that stuff. But the very first hole, Moose had told me to pull over. He had shanked his drive, and the very first hole he had Mother Nature was calling, so he had to pull over by a tree and stop his doors. But it was a great tournament, and it was just awesome guys. And Roger was a very, very pro Shanley guy. And
did you get a chance to listen to Roger speak or talk to him at all?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. In fact, I still have a baseball this day. His autograph, Mickey Mantle's autograph.
Wow.
On one baseball. It's got to be worth some money, I would think.
Oh, I hope you got that in your safety deposit box.
Yep. No, I've got it in the case, so it's for everybody to see. So it's great memories, though. Great memories.
Well, and what was that at Oxbow or was that at the Fargo Country Club?
No, Oxbow. I think the first 2 years, if I'm correct, we're at Oxbow.
So there's
then they just kept having water issues and they had to change. So
okay. So there's Moose Scourin DNA somewhere on the golf course at Oxbow.
yeah, and I just remember Don Larsen, and I got to meet Don Larsen, the only pitcher ever to pitch I think it was a perfect. I don't know if it was a no hitter or a perfect game in the World Series.
That's right.
He was there. Whitey Herzog, Billy Martin, all the greats were there. That they were all still alive.
Wow.
So Bob Costas. Just legendary people. So it was fun. It was fun.
Boy, just think if Roger's health could have been better and he was still alive today, wouldn't he just be the prince of the? I don't think Roger would live here, but I think he was living in St. Louis. I think it was a Budweiser beer distributorship in his family.
Yeah, I think he owned that in Florida, I believe.
Oh, in Florida. Is that where it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was in Florida, yeah.
Okay.
But people forget Roger was a very highly recruited football player, too.
Oh, he was just a great athlete, yeah.
I believe Oklahoma had offered him a full ride as well when he was a senior. He was that good of an athlete. He was just a stud. A stud. So.
Yeah, he was a great one. Gosh, it's a real... Well, it's fun reliving some memories of the great Roger Maris with you today, Mike. Thanks very much, and happy birthday to Roger Maris. He would have been 86 years old today.
Absolutely. Yep. He's got the real record.
Yeah, he does. Thank you very much, Mike. Have a great day.
Yep, you too. Thanks.
Okay. KFGO time coming up on 4:45 this afternoon. Greater Moorhead Days get going today, as a matter of fact. What's happening today? I've got the schedule right up in front of me here. The Adventure Lab series got going this morning. And let's see here. Also today, the Red River Run 5K and 15K virtual run was going on today. There's all sorts of events going on. One of those events is coming up next Wednesday, which takes us to our next guest. It's Christine Holland, who's in charge of Riverkeepers in our part of the world. Hi, Christine.
Hey, Dan. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you. This sounds like a lot of fun, and it all starts over at the Yumkom's Landing. It's a river paddling excursion and advanced adventure. Does that mean that you have to have advanced kayaking skills to go, or can anybody go?
Well, we usually have beginners able to come to these group paddles, but this one we are going to go a little bit further and a little bit faster. So we'd like you'd have at least some inkling of what you're doing before you come to this one.
Okay, so you have to have, some hours on the water in your kayak, right?
Yes, or a canoe. We've got both available for rent.
So, give us the overview. What's happening with the river paddling excursion advanced adventure at 5 p.m. next Wednesday at Yumcomps Landing?
So you register with Moorhead Parks and Rec, and then you come down to the Yumcomps Landing. We'll do a little pre-talk about what we're going to do on the river, how to get on the river safely, how to paddle safely, and then we're just going to go out and enjoy the night. Nature of the North is going to lead us.
And who's that? Who's Nature of the North? Those guys out of Wisconsin or something?
No, they just opened a climbing wall store in Moorhead, but they're just trying to create an outdoor community within Fargo-Moorhead.
And so these men and women are leading the paddle adventure? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so John with Nature of the North and myself will be leading it, and we'll be talking about new paddling techniques and a little bit about the Red River and things you can enjoy along the river and all sorts of fun things.
How much do you get out on the river yourself, Christine?
This year's been a little bit different,
yeah.
as for everybody, but we try to go out a few times a month. These group paddles are great because if you're not comfortable with going out on your own, we help you get in safely. There's somebody out there, so if you do tip, we help you get back in, and we talk about that the Red River actually has good water quality, so you don't need to be worried about that. And there is a current that flows north, but there's no undercurrents. That is a myth. So we like to just get rid of some of those myths about the Red River.
So where are you going on Wednesday when you put in at the Yumcomps Landing?
So we start at Yumcomps Landing, go towards the Center Avenue Bridge, so you can see what it's like to go against the current first.
Okay.
And then we turn around and go downstream, which is the easy part, right?
Yeah. Until you got to turn around.
Until you have to turn around. Then we come back up. But really the current right now it's very easy to paddle against the current.
So how fast is the current of the Red River of the North?
It varies, obviously, depending on how high the river is. But right now the CFS is very paddleable, and most of the time it is. We always tell people to be aware of the river conditions, and if it's flooding, to not go on the river.
Why is that? Why is that important? Is it because there's things under the surface or something?
Yeah. One, because if you do have to come back upstream, it's just it's too hard to paddle against.
Okay.
And then also, if the river is going up, there's it's bringing in stuff on the banks of the river, like big branches and stuff that you might not be able to paddle around.
Okay. The Red River of the North, very unique that it flows north. One of two rivers in the world that flow north. Is that correct?
That is also a myth.
Okay.
Lots of people think that, but there is, and I don't know how many, but there are numerous rivers that do flow north. It's just that our river happens to be very flat. And so I think it drops about 6 inches per mile, and that's one of the reasons that it floods as well, is because of that very slow decline.
Back in the day, maybe this is a myth too, but I've heard, way back in the day that maybe 18th, 19th century, when the river would flood, it would go as far as like Castleton. Is that accurate?
I have not heard that, but we used to be a part of Lake Agassiz, so we do have an old graphic where it was as deep as one of the floors on the Radisson downtown.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah, it's a little hard to imagine.
It is hard to imagine, but, before there were, coordinated efforts to fight floods and keep the river within its banks, I imagine it was really something else to try to live, in Fargo on the prairie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have lots of steamboat captains talking about how the river winds back and forth and how they liked it when it flooded just a little bit and they could go through some of those twists and turns and be able to just go straight instead of having to go an extra mile out of their way.
I bet. How many are going to be able to go on the river paddling excursion next Wednesday? How many boats do you have?
Sure. So we've got 8 canoes and 9 kayaks, and if you've got your own vessel, you can bring that as well. We do limit the number because of COVID, so make sure that you sign up early at moorheadparks.com, or give them a call to make sure that there's space. And that's $10 per vessel, or if you've got your own. Otherwise, if you're renting one of ours, it's $15 per person.
Okay, moorheadparks.com. You must pre-register. You can't just show up, right?
Correct. Yeah, just because of COVID, we wanted to make sure that we've got not too many people there.
And I think I asked you this already, but can you say how many miles, how far you're going to be going? I mean, you want people to be in good shape when they do this.
Yeah, so it depends on who comes with. We're obviously not going to leave anybody in the dust.
Or the water.
Or the water, right. And it does the sunset at 7:30 on Wednesday, so we want to make sure that we're back in and the vessels are all locked up before it gets dark.
And it starts at 5, goes till 7. You'll leave at Yumcomps Landing. Imagine all that's on the website in Fargo at moorheadparks.com. Christine Holland joining us from Riverkeepers. It's going to be a paddle adventure excursion next Wednesday, an advanced adventure leaving from Yumcomps Landing. Just get registered at Moorhead Parks. This is all part of Greater Moorhead Days. Christine, thanks so very much for joining us today, and I hope the excursion is just a hoot.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Christine. Take care. KFGO time coming up on 4:52. By the way, Greater Moorhead Days gets going today, and then now tomorrow there's the virtual parade. You can check all this out at cityofmoorhead.com, by the way, as well. There's a 9/11 commemoration going on at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning at Memorial Park. There's going to be a FM Rotary ride virtual for 2020 at Riverfront Park. And on. There's stuff for dogs. Just go check it out. Greater Moorhead Days. Moorhead, your hometown, is having Greater Moorhead Days, and it starts today. Hope everybody will get involved with Greater Moorhead Days. KFGO time, just about 4:53. This is The Drive on the Mighty 790 KFGO. And here's the tall man with a look at that forecast for Greater Moorhead Days.
This is News Radio KFGO. Weather Watch.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm KFGO Chief Meteorologist Tom Szymanski. After a fairly nice day today, we'll have a clear sky down to 46 tonight. Not quite as cold as it has been, but still a few degrees below the average low, which is 50. South wind under 11 miles per hour. High pressure still hanging on for a while yet to start off the day tomorrow. We start off mostly sunny, but then an upper level low coming in from the west and southwest will bring increasing cloudiness as the day wears on. South to southeast wind 9 to 22. High temperature 68, and that low will bring a slight chance for late afternoon showers. I think there will be better chances for showers as you go further south. Then tomorrow night, scattered showers down to about 53. Not everybody will get hit, but they will be around and about, and there's a chance that they could linger into Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy with a high of 68. I think locally the best chance for rain showers on Saturday would be in the morning. They may persist into the midday and maybe even the afternoon in Lakes Country, but even where they persist, or at least a chance of them persist, it's not going to rain all day and constantly be a washout type of way to start off the weekend. No chance of that. And on Sunday, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions, a low near 47 with a high of 70. Monday, sunny, 78. Hey, you know what? I think we have a chance at 80 or above on Tuesday. How about that?
And this KFGO forecast is powered by Acme Tools. Don't be left in the dark. Get powered up with a new Honda generator. More of The Drive coming up next here on the Mighty 790 KFGO.
Get the latest weather when you need it. 24/7 at KFGO.com.
Greater Moorhead Days is coming September 10th through the 17th. Celebrate Moorhead with a variety of exciting and safe events for all ages. Check the Greater Moorhead Days website for all the daily activities at greatermoorheaddays.com.
Coffee is on us here at the Mighty 790 KFGO. Each month, we're asking you, our amazing listeners, to register your town. Go to KFGO.com and click on the Coffee with KFGO quick link and nominate your town. If your town's selected, the KFGO Morning Crew, News and Views with Joel Heitkamp, and other KFGO personalities will be headed to your town. Coffee with KFGO is brought to you by Vision Ford in Wapaton. Stress-free car shopping, free delivery within 1,000 miles of the dealership. Drive with Vision and the Mighty 790 KFGO.
Celebrate doctors, nurses, EMTs, and all medical professionals and first responders in the fight against COVID-19. They are our heroes. Nominate and submit your family, friends, and coworkers as we honor heroes of medicine in our community. Brought to you by Matt's Automotive Service Center.
Big Iron. The region's largest ag show is September 15th through the 17th at the Red River Valley Fairground in West Fargo.
Kick the tires on the latest and greatest products and technology in the industry. Big Iron is committed to your safety. Visit our website for details on safety measures in place. It's Big Iron, September 15th through the 17th at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo. Details at BigIronFarmShow.com.
It's raining diamonds at a Cutting Edge Jewelry. Folks, the month of September, we are going to have the biggest diamond sale the Red River Valley has ever seen. Every shape of diamond we have in stock. We have marked down hundreds of diamonds. What this means for you, you're going to get twice the diamond for your budget as you ever have before. A Cutting Edge, 4507 33rd Avenue South, right here in Fargo.
Happy hours weekdays from 3 to 6 and 9 to close at Boston's.
That's like 6 hours.
Yeah, so?
Well, why do they call it happy hour?
Because you can get apps starting at $4 and pints for $3.
Yeah, that's great, but shouldn't it be like happy hours with a Z sound at the end there?
Fine. Happy hours weekdays at Boston's from 3 to 6 and 9 to close. You happy now?
Happy hours.
Boston's Pizza and Sports Bar on 13th Avenue near Lowe's.
Are you ready for a new Subaru? So, what will it be? The brand new 2021 Subaru Crosstrek or the new 2021 Subaru Ascent with seating for up to 8 passengers? Or get a great deal now on a new 2020 Subaru model. Of course, they all come with Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive standard and Muscatel's complimentary 2-year schedule maintenance plan with new Subaru purchase. Check us out today at muscatelsubaru.com. Muscatel's, built on trust.
The Drive with Dan Michaels on 94.1 FM and the Triple Towers of Power, the Mighty 790 KFGO.
The Mighty 790 KFGO. We're going to get into our stand-up spotlight here in just a couple minutes. There's more things going on in the metro here today. The beer stube is going on at the Shriners. That starts at 5:30 this afternoon, 5:30 to 7:30. Brats, beans, tater salad, and beer. And the Chocolate Fantasy is going on today, too, at the Delta. You can drop by over there and pick up 2 different sized boxes. I think one's $15 and one's like $44. All of it benefits the YWCA, so go pick up some chocolate at the Delta. Chocolate Fantasy is going on today as well. Time to get into our stand-up spotlight today. We are in the midst of playoff season with the NHL, the NBA playoffs going on. That takes us to our comedian, Brian Reagan, today, who's talking about what it's like to have the best of 7 games going on.
So we have the basketball playoffs and the hockey playoffs happening. I always love whenever there's a best of 7 series, because then I get to hear my favorite sports reporter question. Would you consider this a must-win game? You know, they always feel like they have to say yes. Yeah, we want to win it. It's very important, you know. Got our uniforms on anyway, might as well try. But it's not always the right answer, man. It's a math question. I wish I would answer that question honestly. It's a best of 7. You're down 1 game to nothing. Would you consider this a must-win game? No. No, we can lose tonight. We can lose tomorrow night, too. We don't want to, but that wasn't your question. You asked if it was a must-win game, and if you'd ever taken a rudimentary math class, you'd already know the magic number's 3. When you're down 3, then you must win them or you're out.
Would you just love to have a player or coach or manager come out and just, you know, give you the honest answer when you just asked one of those inane questions like that? Boy, love to leave you with a laugh on the drive. Coming up, the Drive Time News Hour, moments away. We got news, sports, weather. It's all just moments away. Market wrap, tough day on Wall Street today. We'll check it all out coming up in just a couple of moments. Thanks for joining us on the drive. This is the Mighty 790 KFGO Fargo. It's 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.